Hey everyone, I'm glad you could join us. And this is a Black Knowledge Matters session, Wednesday night. What is today? November 25th. And we're gonna be treated to some beautiful artwork here. And let me just share. Every time I try to do this, something happens for some reason. Let's see if I can share my screen this time. Will it allow me? All right. Yes. Okay. So, wanna?
Yeah, I need some new artwork, so I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, okay. Well, you're going to see some new artwork. So let me share this. I'm glad that Terrace. So everyone can see Terrace. He has that magnificent beard there, along with along with Katabasi. I'm trying to catch
Yeah,
up
I
with
was
you
just
guys.
admiring his beard.
Oh, I see that.
So, but let me just share, Terrence. This is what I was talking about yesterday. So let me share my screen here. All right. Let's see. Minimize that. But here. So this is Brother Terrence here, and his lovely wife, Jelaine, and we are related through our wives. Our wives are first cousins, and I just marvel at Terrence's artwork.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And this is just a small sampling. If you are so lucky to be Facebook friends with Terrence, he posts a different picture like this every day.
Every day?
Every day he comes out with something like this. And as I was talking to him yesterday, it's like a Rorschach test. Everyone sees something different. I mean, and there's probably, I guess, as Terrence will probably explain, there's no right or wrong interpretation of it. But I mean, so I just think this man is a giant. He's not going to admit that, of course. He's very composed in his recognition of his talent. So I'm just and also now I talk this is kind of like a family affair. So my sister-in-law and her husband are going to be on. They have a side business that's called Gotta Have It Art, and this is the website that you can go to visit their site. It is Ebonics, Gotta Have It Art.com. And maybe Terrence knows who this artist is. I don't know. So they sell limited edition items. Some are very high end and some are very reasonably priced. And so I thought if I would have Terrence on, I should have them on too. So they're going to come in. Their son is actually, their son's Timothy. He's in a piano recital. And so they're going to come on like after 6. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. And I'm glad that you all, Minister Amadi, is here with us. So Terrence, I'm going to, hold on. I'm going to give you the co-host, and you are going to be able to share. And I was kind of interviewing Terrence yesterday because usually we just see each other on family holidays and get together. Terrence, I don't know if you know this, but Aunt Vivian was at my baby shower. This is his mother-in-law. She was at my baby shower. Yes,
oh,
yes.
wow.
So that's how far we go back. And his sister-in-law Diane and I went to high school, and she was the first Black girl to be in a major drama role, and she played Maria in West Side Story.
I remember that well. I went and saw her.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So I'm
went-
going to stop yapping. I'm glad everyone could join us, and I'm going to turn it over to Brother Terrence Smith,
Oh,
artist extraordinaire.
all right. So are you gonna give me control so I can
Yeah,
put something up on
you
the
have
screen?
it, sir. You have it. Yeah.
I got it. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet. Hmm.
So I think I made you. Let me check, Terrence. I think I made you co-host. Yeah, you are. You're co-host, so you should be able to share.
Okay, hold on 1 second here. There it goes.
Terrence, before you share, you want to say a few words,
Yeah,
introduction, a little short bio on yourself, whatever you care to share.
sure. Now that I know where that share is, except I got everybody covered now. There it goes. Okay, so like Imhotep said, we're cousins by marriage. Been hanging around for 40 plus years. I know I've been married for 40 plus years, so I've been around him for at least that long, maybe more. Um, and and as you guys probably know, whenever he calls, you got to pick up the phone and you got to respond. You can't just ignore the presence of the minister there. But I I I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My background is in engineering. I'm an engineer by trade. I'm an electrical and computer science engineer. I recently retired a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and I retired from the Boeing company. So I've always been in aviation, built airplanes, maintained airplanes, sold airplane programs, did the gamut. And after 30 plus years, I gave it up. And I gave it up and discovered that I could now do whatever I wanted to do in life. You know, I had the freedom to do that. And I've always had a penchant for drawing and painting. I mean, I've done it for 50 years, almost all my life. And the time that I've been married, only my wife and my son knew that I really was doing art, drawing and painting. And I would do it as a kind of a stress relief. Just after work, I would come home, sit down, paint something, draw something, sketch something. And it relaxed me because my jobs were pretty stressful. So over 40 plus years, I amassed quite a bit of inventory. But again, only my wife and son knew that I really, really did enjoy doing this and was doing it. I never hung anything at home on our walls. I never uh, really tried to project that or showed friends or anybody really. So nobody really knew that I had this creative part of my brain. They knew me as an engineer, kind of the nerdy engineer, you know. But once I retired, I said, okay, well, let me just kind of play around a little bit. And I started posting some things on social media. Up until then, I had never even got on social media. You know, Facebook and Instagram, that was all, I was said, I'll never do that. That's a waste of time, crazy, crazy, crazy. But then once I retired, I had some time and I said, oh, let me look into this. And I started posting some things and people were responding. And I was a little bit surprised because that wasn't really my intent. I was just kind of sharing, you know, with family and friends, some of the things that I did through that social media network. So even to this day, I don't have a website. I don't really actively try and sell anything. You know, people always want to buy my art, but I'm just not at that frame of mind yet, but I'm getting there. My wife is a business person, so she's constantly on me about, oh, you should do this, that, and the other. But as a creative, that's not really where my head is. I just create because I enjoy doing it, and it's really for myself. So with all that said, I'll show you a few pieces. Let me make sure I am sharing screen. Let me know if you guys can see my screen.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
You can see this. Oh, what happened there? Okay. Does that look all right to everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So I do a number of different media. Most recently, since COVID's been happening, I pretty much just sketch during the day. And that's what Emotep was alluding to. I usually post on Instagram. I have Instagram and on Facebook, a sketch a day. And since this COVID period, I have probably over 300 sketches that I got on Instagram that I, just amassed over that period of time. And that's in addition to the work that I did previously, which is a little bit larger format, some paintings, some larger pieces. But the stuff that I'm doing kind of now is mostly sketches in 9x12 sizes or 8x10 sizes. So this is some of the work. Let me see if I can move that out of the way. This particular one, and I numbered them so that I could talk about them. The number one picture here, it's a pen, ink, and watercolor, and some acrylic. So I used all three of those mediums, and this is probably 18x24 size. And people really like that. So I've made some copies of that one. The second one is similar. The praying hands ones is a larger format size, probably 18x24, watercolor, pen and ink. And if you notice, a lot of my art is how would I say? I'd say detailed, but it's all detailed based upon my doodling. So let me tell you a little bit about that. So all through my career in my executive and professional career, everyone at work knew that when I came into meetings, I was going to have a pen and paper and I was going to be doodling. So it helped me to focus a lot of times on what people were saying because I didn't have the distraction of all of the conversations going around, and it helped me focus. So I would doodle and I'd have these elaborate doodles. So a lot of the things that you see in my artwork are really, I incorporated a lot of detailed doodling in there with the intricacies and like I said, the details. I like to do faces. So like the sketches that I do daily are pretty much sketches and profiles of different faces. Not anyone in particular, but just a conglomeration of all the faces I've seen in my life. I had the privilege to travel all over the world in my career, selling airplane services and visiting airlines, et cetera. So I was able to see a lot of different things, and a lot of that's incorporated in my art. Again,
Terrence,
yes.
if you wouldn't mind, if you could go back. So
Yeah.
like, okay, for instance, if I were to see that you have posted, praying hands, You know, when I look at it, it looks like there's a road leading to her praying hands. Was that your intention, or is that just something I'm seeing?
It's your interpretation. I didn't intend anything in particular with that other than the aesthetic of drawing the robe. But like you said and before, people see a lot of different things in the artwork. And um, in answer to that particular question, that wasn't intentional. That wasn't intentional to put a road, but I do see that now that you mentioned it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Um, Again, these are larger formats, typically 18 by 24 sizes. All of the originals are about 18 by 24. That number 4, Golden Girls, that's one of my wife's favorite. And that took me over probably a 6-month period of time of coming home every day after work and just doing all of those intricacies there. You could see on her head, and you probably can't see it very much, but this piece around here, those are all little circles, thousands of them. And again, it was just something that would relax me when I came home. I would just sit there and start drawing circles, you know, all over, and doing all kinds of doodling. And
Is that one ink?
yeah, that's ink and watercolor. So the face and eyes are watercolor. The black is ink, and the gold tones are ink.
Beautiful.
Upper
Oh.
piece.
Gosh.
The number 5 one, Got Your Back, that's watercolor and acrylic. And the circles in the face in the front are acrylic pen. I've found all of these tools I can do all kinds of things with. So they have these acrylic pens that you can buy and do different things with. So on that one, that's those 3 mediums: watercolor, ink, and acrylic. Let me go back. The piece here, Mother and Child, that's again, watercolor, pen and ink, and acrylic. And when you see these in person, they're pretty vibrant, the colors. They look vibrant here. I guess they're fairly realistic, but in person, they really jump out. This set here, again, are the larger formats, 18 by 24, pen and ink, acrylic. Just people sometimes ask me, what are you thinking about when you're drawing a certain thing? Well, truth be told, when I start off, I'm not really thinking necessarily anything in particular. I have an image in my head that I want to maybe duplicate on paper, but once I get into the details, it's kind of a flow, really. I just kind of flow with the colors and add things, etc. I don't really have any necessarily political message, although some of my pieces do have a religious bent to them. You'll see some of those later, I think. But it's kind of a flow with the work. I'll have an image in my head and then put it down on paper. And this is the last of that larger format. Again, same media, pen and ink, and watercolors. Now these next sets are taken, most of them, and I identify which ones, but most of them are part of that daily sketch that I'll put out. And let me talk a little bit about that. I will get up in the morning pretty early. I usually get up between 4 and 5. And I'll come in the living room away from the bedroom and just spend some quiet time with myself and the Lord. And I'll then pick up my sketchbook. And if I haven't already started something, I'll just start to kind of flow with either the images in my mind or something that I saw a previous day or something that inspired me, and just start sketching. And by the end of the day, I'll do that for, usually I'll start that once my wife gets up, and with COVID, she goes into the office and goes to work. So that's usually around 10 o'clock. I'll start putting pen to paper and do that for a few hours. And by the end of the day, I'd say around 3 or 4, I probably completed whatever I'm going to do that day, and I'll publish it. So these next few, they're smaller format. They're typically 8 by 10, maybe 9 by 12 in a sketchbook I have. And
Oh, no, I like that one.
that's what I'll draw.
Yeah.
So the one on the left is not one of those sketches. So it's not like what I talked about just a second ago. It is one of the larger format ones. And it's, again, pen and ink, watercolor and acrylic. Pretty stunning piece there. But the one on the right is one of the sketches that I'll do. And what I've done on those, because I'm using a sketchbook and I haven't really wanted to like totally go wild with the media I use, these are pen and ink, markers, and color pencils. So the pen and ink, I have a lot of different types of pen and ink that I use, but this one you can see the oval or the round shape, that's all pencil, colored pencil. And then the shapes and the images are pen and ink. And then the horizontal lines that you see in the bodies, those are markers.
Very good. I see a lot of geometric lines and
circles.
I see a lot of geometric lines,
you'll
triangles.
See circles. You'll see circles in probably everything I do. I like that shape, so I'll add a circle pretty much to everything just because I like it. And then a lot of people tell me, oh, I could tell you're an engineer because of the symmetry and the lines and things like that. I guess they can just tell, or they think that. Again, these are the smaller format.
Do these have names, these ones?
No, they don't typically have names. What I should have done though, and I didn't, what I should have done is somehow identify the day that I did the particular sketch, and that could have been the name. But at this point, they don't have a name. I don't spend a whole lot of time naming them, but
very unique technique. The sliding scale, that's
in the
right
left.
at the forehead. Yeah, that's
So
sliding.
yeah, so that is, so the colorful image is the normal piece, and when I take a picture of it, I can add certain things. So in this particular one, I'll just share, I did have some thoughts on what was going on. I remember doing this sketch during a time where our current president was, how can I say this, not behaving well. And I was just saying to myself, we need to dial up the prayer for this.
Yes.
So
yes.
that's what that dial is for. This guy's praying, and I was dialing up the prayer for that particular day. So that one did have a purpose, definitely.
I see a cross in that scale too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I like to play around with different things. There was a period of time, and I do have a few sketches where I did get a little political, but not too political.
Brother Terrence,
Yes, ma'am.
can you, I am so amazed, but can you go back to 7 and 8? I don't remember that we talked about those too much.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, that group, that
Yeah.
group.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So
Thank you.
these were the larger formats, and 7, 8, and 9. 7, that's a very famous kind of saying, "I am a man." A lot of artists use that for different things, and I just chose to do that myself with this particular piece, showing a portrait of a face that's kind of colorful and has different things in it. The Matisse Lovers, so that's a Black couple intertwined with each other, as lovers sometimes do, with the background, the colorful background, because I love color, so most of the things that I do have a lot of color in them.
Yeah, it's like the universe is behind them or with them,
Yeah.
because all these colors are in the universe and all these colors are made by the creator. And that is beautiful. Yes. Oh,
The butterfly taming, again, this was one done out over a period of time and was really a stress relief. If you could see all the details in this, if you see this in person, that the hair and all that it took a while to do, and it was very relaxing for me. For some reason, the detail in paintings, doing them, relaxes me. I don't know what it is about that, but I could go for hours just drawing circles, So this was one of those type pieces, and in person, again, it's very colorful. It's a very, very detailed piece. Did that
thank
help?
you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like on 8, it looks like, okay, this is just me, it's like a chessboard too,
Hmm.
in there
Mm-hmm.
among.
That's what's great about art. It's just so
Yeah.
much fun
Yeah.
because
Well, different people see different things, and
Yeah.
that's why I don't really like to say what it is or what I was thinking, because I don't want to give people a preconceived notion about what they might see in it. It's all to their imagination, and usually in most of my art, there's a lot of different things going on that allows people's imagination to just go with the painting. And it may not be something that I intentionally tried to do or was intentionally trying to project. Again, so
Wow.
the one on the left was done right kind of at the start of COVID. So he has his mask. I love that. That's kind of a crazy looking mask, but I was feeling like drawing something with a mask that particular day. And plus it has a little bit of this art style called steampunk. I'm not sure if people are familiar with steampunk, but it's a type of art that has a lot of mechanical and robotic features to it. And this has a little bit of that in it. The one on the right is a little more subtle piece. You know, sometimes I have to be kind of a regular person and not not get crazy with the art. So this I made Christmas cards out of this one year.
Well, you know, that looks
Very
like
nice.
watercolor.
It is. It's all watercolor
Okay.
and some acrylic. So some of the like dots, you could see some dots in there. Those are acrylic dots that I would take the acrylic paint and dip the ends of my brush in them and then do the dots.
Wow.
So yeah, this is watercolor. You got that.
I don't think I've ever seen this style before.
Yeah, I haven't, but you know, it's
Very
just
unique.
what I love to do.
Mm.
The one on the left and both of these, the left and the right, are larger formats. So they're both probably 18 by 24. Both watercolor, both it was all about color in these, as you can see. I tried to put as much complementary colors as I can in these two at least, and the images are what drew me to wanting to draw these. You know, the one on the left um, is when I was drawing it, I had in mind that this person had another person on their mind all the time. So, so the image at the top, the face looking up, is in the mind of the person that's kind of looking at us.
Wow.
And then one on the right is pretty self-explanatory. It's a mother with her two children. Very, like I said, the colors are amazing in these.
Do you have names for some of these pieces?
I don't. I don't. I mean, I would imagine if I ever got into the space of wanting to sell them, I would have to come up with a name or give it some kind of
Right.
to identify it. But right now, I'm not in that headspace. My wife and my friends say I'm hoarding my art. I'm not sharing it with the world, but I'm getting there. You know, for me, everything is a process. So I'm getting to the point where I'm willing to let go. But a lot of these people want the originals, and for an artist, an original painting, it's like your kid, your baby. It's like
Yeah.
you're reluctant to give it away. But again, I just have to get there, and I am getting there. I'm going through a process now where I'm starting to share some of this with people.
Yeah. You need to.
Wow.
Let's see. There's not much I can say about these two. The one on the right, the guy with the beard, was I found a barber that does beards really well, and I was trying to envision in my mind how I wanted him to style my beard, and I ended up drawing this one day.
Right.
Oh, I see. So the squares are your mind. And the-
Oh, up here.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and
very,
again,
very rectangle.
oh, I how can I say this? I like beautiful things, and in my art, and when I sketch, the lines that I draw are typically very, I won't say sensual, but um, they're not obtruse. You know, there's not like a lot of squares. You know, I like rounded curves. I like things that, in my mind, what I would define as beauty. I like to look at beautiful things. So a lot of my art is like that. I when I draw something, even though it might not be beautiful to somebody else, it is to me because I know what I was trying to communicate when I did it.
Oh,
Oh, wow. She's gorgeous. Oh,
Okay, so the other thing about my art too is I love abstract art. So the piece on the right is a large abstract piece. And that's the only, I think that's the only piece. Well, no, I have two abstract pieces that are hanging in my house right now. And this is one of my favorite ones. This one is huge. It's probably 42 by 58 or something. It's pretty
wow.
big.
Mm.
And then the one on the left, again, is just another sketch from the sketches that I do typically every day.
I've seen this black circle dot on several of yours. Does that have any special meaning for you, or?
For me, it's like I said, in most of my sketches, I'll put a circle in there. And to me, the circle is probably, from an artistic standpoint, at least for me, it's like one of the nicest shapes that an artist can do. And I like circles. I like the way they look. It doesn't have like a real deep meaning, like the circle of life or none of that necessarily. It's all about how it looks and the placement of it in the art piece.
but you know what it says to me, and of course this is all individual, but it says how you're connected to the universe, you know, to
Yeah.
the spirituality part of the circle. You
Mhm.
know, the circle remains unbroken, and you know when Ra, you know, crosses the sun and makes that complete circle, it's very spiritual. These circles, to me, that's
Yeah.
what I get.
Yes.
Very
I
spiritual.
feel that. I feel that. I feel that. Thank you for that.
Yes.
So I think that's all that I had. A lot of these are on my either Instagram or Facebook. And for Instagram, I don't know if anybody does, but that Instagram stuff. But my Instagram quote handle, I guess that's how the young people say it. My Instagram handle is at Terrence Smith 58, and that's TERENCE Smith SMITH 58.
Wow, magnificent. I know that Sandra is due to come on at
Great.
about,
Thank you, brother.
so
Yeah, thank you guys. This is a real privilege for me. I know when Imhotep asked me to do it, cousin Doris, she knows my personality, so she immediately says, "Oh, Terrence, he doesn't like to talk. He's not gonna want to be talking about his art and all that." But again, I knew. I mean, I love Imhotep so much that I knew there's no way I couldn't do this, and I really appreciate him asking me and helping me to step out a little bit. Um, with
Terrence,
that.
I want you to know that we're recording this, and
Mhm.
when it's ready, I'll send it to you, and you can share it with your your followers on Facebook and Instagram, and
Cool.
because
So I see somebody on here. He's got some artwork in the back. Malaxi M.
Makalisi.
Maklisi. He's got some artwork back there that looks pretty nice, man. Are you an artist, sir?
Unmute yourself. For a minute.
Unmute
Yeah,
yourself.
I'm unmuting. No, I am not an artist. I do, I guess my biggest artwork is I write some songs. Some
Ah,
songs write themselves through me.
so you're a
Uh,
creative. All right.
Oh, a little bit. No, but
Cool, cool.
these paintings, I guess, well, I don't know, they might be like so I don't know what the materials are, whether they're but they're about, this is these things must be about 30 years old.
Oh, wow.
And
Cool.
I was just so impressed with the artist. I can't remember his name right off, but I was just so impressed with it. I had to get it some.
Those are nice.
And
Yeah.
this is in our home here. This is my room.
All right.
Your space.
The studio,
Yeah.
the man cave.
Yeah.
Artwork is there. Well, my son went to college. Artist Raymond Saunders contributed a piece to Hampton University in exchange for my son's education.
Oh,
So
wow.
art, oh yeah, art is, you know, I mean, like in one of the big films they had where the world was going to end, one of the first acts that they did was to preserve the art. No,
Mm.
because our art tells the story.
You ought to tell that story about your son meeting Brother Sanders and how he came to that deal with the art.
Yeah, well, he was, well, I had just divorced and my son came home from college from Hampton University. He humbly said, Mom, I'll just come home. So I was like, I don't know how we're going to pay for tuition at this point. And so he started working for a friend of ours who detailed cars. He went out to detail people's cars and he sent my son to Raymond Saunders' home. And he did his cars and then got into conversation with him. And he was so impressed with my son that he asked him, where are you going to school? And when he told him, and he told his story, you know, my mom is trying to figure out how we can get back to Hampton. You know, he said, let me see if I can help. And so his people contacted Hampton, who has a beautiful museum there. And they made the deal. He came home and said, Mom, some man is gonna get me back. I said, what man? But Raymond Saunders also, he has this signature of a black heart. And in all his pieces that he does, whether you see it or not, there's a black heart in there, whether it's painted over or, you know, so just like your work has the circles, your work is just breathtaking. It's,
I know.
you know, very, oh gosh, soothing to the eyes, definitely beauty. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
just want to say, I see our cousins on here, Tim and Sandra, and they've played a big part in encouraging me. They're big time art dealers, and I love going to their house and seeing their artwork, but they've encouraged me so much in trying to do this thing, and I just wanted to let them know I appreciate them.
Yes, I'm glad that they've arrived. You know, these are my relatives, and I know it's going to sound self-serving, but this is a power couple. They are a power couple, and you know, they do a lot of things in the community professionally, and they have a business, as I told you, gotta have it art. And I thought, you know, we have the genius, Brother Terrace, to come on, and I said, well, let me ask Sandra and Tim if they will come and share their art and their business. So Sandra and Tim, I gave you the co-host ability. So if you want to share your screen, or share whatever you like. So we have till 6:30, and glad you can make it. First of all, how was the recital?
It was good. It actually is still going on. So we are double booking between, but Timothy did a good job on the tenor sax. So he did his solo, which was great.
So now, is he playing piano or saxophone?
Saxophone. He went from alto sax to tenor sax this year. So that's good.
Excellent.
Well, Emma, thanks so much. And cousin Terrence, great for you to be on to showcase your art. Tim and I have been in business. It's hard to believe. It'll be 20 years next year. Next month, yes, good. That is December. And for us, it was always about a love of culture. For us, we have our 9-to-5 job, but our art is the thing that drives us because it's about celebrating what is rich and powerful about Black culture, and to highlight the experiences, the passion, and storytelling. And we were fortunate that when we started, Tim actually collected Negro League. That was his sort of passion when we first got started. And someone paid forward for us, because in the art business is oftentimes very narrow in terms of who you know. But we were really fortunate enough that a top artist in Texas said, I really see young people that love art the way that you all do as a young couple. And he said, which does not happen, here is everyone you need to know. That does not happen. And so we were internally grateful for him just sharing with us, just here's his Rolodex of every top Black artist across the country. And that was, again, 20 years ago, and we have loved it. It's a love of passion. If we could do anything else, we would just do that. And it has been about just sharing the Black experience with others, right? I tell people, whether it's Terrence's art, you think about how you have something that you enjoy and love and express, and it's on your walls, right? How can we story tell if someone comes into your house? So it's something that we have loved to do. And as Emma said, it also is about supporting the community. Tim and I are committed to supporting education. And so we do art fundraisers to give back to the community. So that way, especially during the pandemic, where many community organizations or sororities and fraternities aren't able to do their traditional scholarships, we want to give back. So that's been something that's been real important to us as well. And what else do you want to share?
Just the fact, well, I'm right here, if you guys can see, I jumped on another screen also. Just the fact, I think, also of really being able to, as Sandra stated, share what we do, share the passion, but more importantly, just to be able to bring the aesthetic beauty of, all the art that we come in contact with, being able to, well, let me back up. For me, art is no good unless you can share it. So in order to share, in order for other people to see it, I mean, we have a lot of folks who have collections and no one ever knows what they possess. But I think the most important piece is for us to share what we have, to pass it down in terms of our family, but also just to know the history, richness of our history from which we come, and how beautiful it is that it's just being expressed in just this several mediums, but just this one medium in terms of art per se, is really just an awesome opportunity. And I see we have some Justin Bua pieces up there. I'm trying to see that piece above the door.
Bua's work is good, very good, Bua.
So just kind of looking in terms of what's going on, but I think just the beauty of being able to share what's important to us.
Well, would you guys like to share some? Are you able to share a few pieces with us?
Absolutely. Emo, can you, well, I think I have it. Let's see.
So Sandra, I made Sandra co-host. Would you like that too?
Please.
Okay. All right, you have the floor, sir.
That is gorgeous. I love that.
You know, let me just say something personal here. I see Minister Alicia is here in our Zoom, and Brother Tim grew up with Minister Alicia's father, and he grew up with the Teasley family in Richmond, California. So there you there you are, and I'm introducing that's my brother-in-law Timothy Hamp. This is Minister Alicia from our church. So.
Greetings.
So now you're both muted, Tim. So somebody has to unmute.
Okay.
I'm sorry. So this is just a beautiful image again by Larry Poncho Brown. I'm a man. But I mean, when you just look at the beauty of this image.
Should I mute you or Sandra? Okay.
Thank you. Just the history that's amplified in this image, but more importantly, just the richness of our history. And I mean, obviously, it's a great picture when you think about, storytelling, and when you think about the importance of our history and our culture. I'm going to share some other images with you.
Tim, we lost you on the share.
You lost me?
Okay. Yeah. You stopped sharing. Okay. All right.
So this piece here, this is a Danny Broadway lithograph. And let me actually just back up real quick. I think one of the things to talk about is just the different pieces that come along with art. We have our open edition pieces, which are basically like a poster or offset lithograph. Then we have a limited editions, which are signed and numbered images. And traditionally, the way that the signed and numbered images really work is once a piece becomes extremely popular or it sells out, it then starts to increase in its monetary value. So one of the things is that, a lot of times people will say, who's a popular artist? Who's a hot artist? And my response is, buy what you like. That's not the importance of art. The importance of, is it something that you're going to like? How does it make you feel? Is it something that you're going to be able to value and treasure as the years pass on? So I think that's extremely important when we talk about art and when we talk about just collecting of art. This piece is entitled Journey. And for me, this signifies just so many things. I think about the march to Birmingham. I think about the Bloody Sunday. But more importantly, when I see this, I just see the richness and the stories of our ancestors here. Journey, where they're going. We don't know, but again, one of the things that I look at in art is that we can create our own stories, we can create our own narratives. And this is just a beautiful piece, again, by Danny Broadway. Give me a sec, I'm gonna bring up another image.
That was a nice piece.
Do you have any of my favorites, Tim? My favorite artists?
Any of your favorite artists? I do, give me 1 sec.
Okay.
I mean, I have so many images, but give me 1 sec. Let me get you.
He's going through his Rolodex of prints.
This is your favorite artist, but not your favorite image.
Okay, all right.
So this image here is LaShawn Bill. This is an original painting. It's entitled Guitar Player. This is an acrylic painting on a wood plate. So as you can kind of just see the vividness of this image, if you could just see, the beauty of it, simple
Yet, you know, for those of us who love music, for those of us who at some point were musicians, obviously that's a beautiful piece. Give me a second here. I'm trying to find another image. I mean, I have a zillion images on my device here, so I want to just. I'm gonna bring up the picture actually behind me.
Good one.
This picture here is entitled Traditions. That's a FedEx package. That's no good. I am so sorry.
I love that one.
It's just, it's kind of it's difficult. Let's see. Here we go.
I'm gonna miss you guys. We're not gonna be hanging out at you guys' house tomorrow. That's a.
I know it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
So this is a piece that's actually above our heads, but this image is entitled Traditions. This piece is by twins, Terry and Jerry Lynn. So if you can imagine one person starting in the top and painting and another person starting at the bottom and working on an image simultaneously, that is the creativity of our people. This piece is a dual painting shared by, you know, as they say, two minds that think alike. Neither actually knows what the other is doing, and they're both painting. But as they get 3/4 of the way done, they kind of stop, see what each other has done, and then they actually, you know, talk about what the painting is going to actually, the finished product of the painting is actually going to be. But this is this is just a beautiful image by, they go by twin, and it's Terry and Jerry Lynn. And this image again is entitled Traditions. I'm going to show you a couple more images. Just something that's unique in itself. This is an actual mirror. So if you look at this piece, sister has locks. She has on African adornment. But, you know, for our sisters, this is something that they can see themselves in this image on a daily basis as they look in this mirror. So, you know, this artist here is Torben Wilson, actually out of the Bay Area. But this is just, you know, the uniqueness, the culture. Obviously, this tells an awesome story when you look at this, but just the beauty of, again, you know, having a mirror to see ourselves, but also just the beauty in terms of the art. Let me find one that you really like, Imo. Give me a second here. Give me a second. He's a LaShawn Bill fan.
Okay.
He is a LaShawn Bill fan. Not that you've seen this one before, Imo, but this is the artist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This piece is entitled So Beautiful. It's an acrylic painting on canvas, but what you have here is this particular artist, LaShawn Bill. He has something that he calls a universal woman.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at this woman, not only does she have features of an African American, she has multiple features, and he does that purposely, just in terms of it's always a melanated woman in color, but just the features per se are that of our African American women, not a lot of European per se, but our Asian women, our Latina women. But he just kind of shows the beauty of the woman in general, but again, with the melanated skin. So beautiful image. This piece is entitled So Beautiful. It's 14 by 20 original painting. It's like an acrylic paint on canvas. Any questions? Any questions?
Mm-hmm.
I can show stuff all day and talk about it, but any questions?
No, show us more.
Show you more. All right.
More.
I'm going to show you more.
I think this
Okay.
As Tim
These,
is showing more, you know, because of the pandemic, that's one of the only reasons why I haven't had them come up to Sacramento and or Oakland to display their artwork, because they, you know, they have some very beautiful pieces, and they actually travel when when the pandemic isn't prevailing. They travel and do shows, and they're doing fundraisers, and they're doing fundraisers virtually. And okay, I'm going to be quiet.
Are you
No,
showing
not
these
at all.
works? Are you showing these works as items that can be purchased?
I wasn't thinking that, but they absolutely can be purchased. Yes.
Okay.
All of these works are available. This is just, if you can imagine, the ballpoint pen that we all have sitting on our desk right now. This is actually a graphite drawing, nothing more so than a ballpoint pen. This piece is called The Drum Major, and this is by a great friend of mine, John Baker III out of Detroit. But just and John does a whole series that he calls The Drum Majors, and it's actually a tribute to all the historically Black colleges and the drum majors from each college. So he has one representing Howard University, Grambling, Hampton, Florida A&M. Every historically Black college, he's done a painting to capture the essence of the drum band major, drum major, which is one of the most significant pieces in any band as it relates to an HBC college. So just, you know, just a beautiful image.
To answer Debbie's question, yes, you can visit their website at gottahaveitart.com. And I believe they're on Facebook too, and Instagram.
Well, yeah, I was going to say more so, if you went to Facebook or Instagram, we're Facebook and Instagram. We're on both of those locations on a regular basis. We show just about works daily in terms of beautiful paintings and images. So it's just one of those, you know, it's just one of those things that we do on a regular basis. Here's the beautiful image. This piece is entitled Reflections. And as you look at this, you obviously see the silhouette of Barack Obama, but you also see the beauty of one of our ancestors who has just gone to vote, and she kind of has the ballot in her hand. And she's reflecting back on, you know, hey, making the choice to vote for our first African-American president. But this is a beautiful image. This is a limited edition piece that was done in 2008 by Charles Bibbs. Very rare image, but this is a beautiful piece. And again, it's entitled Reflections. And I want to say there was 44 of these images actually created. There are only 44 just to kind of commemorate our 44th president.
How much would this cost?
This piece is $1,500, just as it is, and as I just stated, it's a very rare piece. I can't see the number at the bottom, but this piece is probably arm's reach away from me. But it's an extremely rare piece that was created by Charles Bibbs.
So Sandra has just put how to reach them in the chat, so you can see. She has placed that in the chat. So facebook.com /GHI artworks. Now, let me repeat that. Facebook.com /GHI artworks. Did I get it right?
Yep.
oh, yeah.
Miles blowing.
Man, it's
Miles
going.
blowing. This is this image was created by Bay Area artist Nanette Harris. and this is a beautiful rendition of Miles Davis. Nanette, actually, all of Nanette's paintings have a blue face. And the purpose of that is she states that prior to oxygen hitting our blood, it's blue. So she wants to show the original person in actuality versus the melanated person. So all of her images that she paint, they come with the blue faces, but for the most part, she has some very captivating images. And this is just one of them. This one is called Miles Blowing.
Any questions? What do you guys think? You know, I have my family, I have my church family, and I have my family on, and we've merged. What do you guys think of this artwork?
I think it's tremendous.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. It's colorful and its depth is the circles in the first set and the history in this set, you know, the journey reminds me of us, Baba Imhotep, because you remember that, you know, Asar Set Society did a reading on us and said we've traveled the desert together, so we are on a journey. And yes, 40 years say we are on a journey, and we're still on the journey. And I just love that. Woo, this is awesome. I need some art. I'm looking to buy some. So I just hope I can afford some.
Well,
You know, I love art. I go to museums often and share information, sometimes with Imhotep, my visits to the museum. And so I feel art has a prescriptive value in terms of what it brings to like another vision, like another place, another time, another feeling. But I also feel like it has a historic value because it documents where we are at a certain point in time in our history. So, you know, like you don't see in these pictures, for instance, you know, like an old timey fashioned, I mean, these people are blazing trails and making their own statement and defining their own interpretation. And so I just feel like art is very, very powerful, and it is not, you know, like you could put something on a wall in your house, and it could change the room forever.
yes.
Right? You put something up, like I have this is not relevant, but I have a small a blanket, a small quilt that my friends made for me when, as a surprise, when I was decorating my house. And so it has every possible color of anything that I bought. They were listening carefully. And, you know, like the emotion and the care and everything else that an artist puts in a thing that they do, like you are really capturing their essence, and it's something that you share. I mean, I feel very strongly about art, so I'll just stop talking. But anyway.
No, that's great. That's great to put that in perspective. Now, Sandra has also put that they're having an event this weekend on Friday and Saturday at 5 o'clock on Facebook. So now, Sandra, should people join, become friends, Facebook friends with you in order to attend? Is that how it should work?
Oh, yes, that's how it should work. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. If you just went to the Facebook page right now, Gotta Have It Art, and if you just liked it, anytime we do anything live, I want to say you'd be notified. If you're on Facebook, or if you're even not on Facebook, you'd be notified immediately that there is an event or there's something happening or there's been some movement on our Facebook page. So, indeed, if you're interested in just checking it out, supporting it, sharing with family and friends, we appreciate it. We encourage you to do so. This is always a favorite piece of mine right here, that I really like. This is another image by Charles Bibbs, and as I'm speaking right now, the name is escaping me,
Tim?
But I just love the black and white imagery of this piece, how it just comes alive. But again, another powerful image. And when you talked about the quilts, if you look at her garment, it has like the patchwork of the quilts actually in her garment.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made me bring it up. But again, just to
Tim, if you wouldn't mind, could you, because you all rattle off artists, so easily. Charles Bibbs, I know he's famous, but could you tell us a little bit about him?
And I mean, so there are a lot of, obviously a lot of famous artists. So Charles Bibbs, contemporary artist, been around probably for about the last 40 plus years.
Riverside.
Yeah, out of Southern California, extremely popular commercial artist. But a lot of his imagery, if you look at it, it has the elongated hands, the elongated features, very, for the most part, very rich in color, always has some type of story or some type of African motifs in the imagery per se. And for me, it's really just, every art, it captures everybody obviously differently, but for me, it's always just the movement. It's nostalgia, maybe this is something that I valued growing up. This is something that I was taught by my grandparents. So it always kind of has that different feel good to it. But for the most part, some of the contemporary artists that I work with on a regular basis are there's Charles Bibbs, there's LaShawn Bill, Larry Poncho Brown, Stuart McLean, Monica Stewart, who's an artist here in the Bay Area, Rosalind McGarry, who is originally from Southern California but went to school here in the Bay Area. But there's no right or wrong. I tell people, don't get caught up in the names, get caught up in the look. So if it's something that you like, then obviously that's what you go for. Would I prefer to have an original painting over a lithograph? It all depends on what's available and what's affordable. If you can find an original painting and it doesn't break the bank, go for it. But again, a lithograph, which is, reproduction, is just as beautiful once it's framed and matted as well. And for me, again, I tease my son all the time because I was like, once mom and dad disappears, don't just give this stuff away. We want you to value it. We want you to appreciate it. So it's always a teachable moment. You're always trying to teach someone of what they're looking at, what they have, and to acquire the same appreciation that you have for it as well, because it is, indeed, everything that we see as we're talking to one another is on our walls. One day we're going to have to depart from it, and we're hoping that it will go in the hands of one of our family members that's going to appreciate just as much as we do. So that's just a beautiful part of the art that we all obtain, is that we want to be able to pass it down. We want to be able to create stories. We want to be able to create memories behind the various images that we like and the various paintings that we treasure.
Also, I was going to say, I think so much about art is storytelling. And so to Tim's point, select art by what moves you and feels good to you. Because I think when we first started in the art industry, I think I said to myself, before we ever say anything to you, if you come into our house, our walls tell you something about us, what we value, what's important. For me, it's a story. So in the dining room, we choose historical aspects of the Black struggle in terms of that aspect. Another part of the house is about family, because family is important to us. So for me, I think about art tells so much about a person, what you value, your culture, without even saying anything, right? My walls tell that story. And I was laughing, Timothy had an event at some parents from the school came to the house, and later they said to Timothy, your parents have a lot of interesting things on their walls, right? So again, not knowing us, our house told them very clearly about what we value, our history. And that's so important to us.
Yes, very good.
So one
Oh,
thing hey,
yeah.
Emma, I wanted to add something because Charles Bibbs is like one of my inspirations. I mean, he's amazing to me. I think that particular piece was called Patterns of Life.
Yes,
That
you're on it, Terrence.
Patterns of Life 2. That's
too.
Patterns of Life 2. Thank you very much, Terrence. Thank you.
And
Yes.
I've researched him before, and his background is very similar to mine because he worked in aviation for many years before he retired and started doing art full time. So he's an inspiration for me, definitely. Great artist.
Oh, there.
I was going to ask if you know the Gadsden Sam's family, because it's this picture and the one with the woman with the guitar, the musical instrument, and I think there was another one. All of those strike me as mainly Chambalier Gadsden Sam's, but her sisters,
Yes.
they just radiate from those pictures.
You know what? I never thought about that, but you are real. You've hit the nail on the head on that. Yeah, it's almost like he's used them as models for his work.
Yeah.
We have about 9 minutes left. I'm just enjoying this. We have so many. Whoa.
Yeah.
So this is very powerful piece, 1619 to 1865. And this talks about the journey. And I'm not sure if you can see in her eye, as she's tearing up, there's a slave ship that's actually painted in her eye.
Oh, wow.
This is called Generations Lost. And this is an image by Kevin Wack Williams. Very strong, very thought-provoking image, but
strong realism.
It's just it's incredible when you look at this, and I mean the story, the history, the lessons that can be taught from this. Is it aesthetically pleasing? Absolutely. But the deepness in the thought to make you stop and look at this over and over and over again is where the lesson is at. So again, this is just a very, very captivating historical image that was created, like they say, for us, by us. No one can tell our story better than we can.
Right, that's right. Woo.
I am going to, yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
No, I'm just going to show one more image. Lady Day. This is the local artist out of Oakland, Marvin McMillan Jr. And Marvin is a music connoisseur, so a lot of his paintings come with that of the Thelonious Monk, Lady Day, Diana Ross, you name it. He's probably painted an original. He's done an original painting of the musicians from the 60s, 70s. But just beautiful imagery. This is an oil painting on canvas, and obviously this picture doesn't know justice, because if you actually look at the vividness of this painting, it's almost like you can just kind of reach out and give her a hug. I mean, it's just so real.
Wow. Very good. Beautiful artwork, beautiful expressions. Brother Terrence has put in, he says, thanks everyone for the opportunity to share his passion. And he appreciates us all, and he tells me thanks. You're welcome, cuz. Anytime, man. And one of the things that I've encouraged to Terrence, but it remains to be seen. I'd like for him to have like an art book with his pieces in it. And Sandra and Tim, wow, you know, amazing. And you can view them this weekend, Friday and Saturday on Facebook at 5 p.m. And you can start by joining their Facebook page, Gotta Have It Art. Did I say it right, guys?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
All right.
We
Anything?
appreciate you for letting us be a part of this. Thank you, Brother Imhotep.
Oh man, you know, I've been wanting to do this for years, really. You know, you guys did do a show over here at the house, I remember, but it was a long time ago, you know. But
Yes.
you guys did do it.
It was pre-Timothy, so it's definitely over 12
Oh
years
yeah.
ago.
So how old is Timothy? 12.
12.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a while, but you know, I just want to say, you know, and you know, when I married into this wonderful family, we used to have Thanksgiving dinner, or was that Christmas? We would be over at Aunt Vivian's, and
Christmas would be on Vivian's.
and they, you know, Doris's family is so many musically talented people in her family. So they had a piano. You know, one person would be at the piano, and then Diane's husband, Mondre Moffat, is a musician extraordinaire, plays the trumpet. You know, different people would be on different instruments. Their uncle Walter, he plays like the Lodius monk. You know, and you know, I can't pick up any instrument because my wife is a musical snob. She you know, she played the viola, and you know, she was in an orchestra when she was in high school and went to Germany. So I can't play anything because, you know, she's like, you know, put that down. You don't know what you're doing. But you know, I'm really going to miss that. I love hanging out with you guys, you know, in the holidays. But I guess we're going to just do something virtual. Also, Celeste asked, the Facebook page again is Gotta Have It Art. Facebook page is Gotta, GOTTAHAVIIT, art. Did I get it right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotta Have It Art.
Minister Imhotep,
Yes.
you're really awesome on the thumb piano, though.
Thank you, Minister. You hear that?
Yeah, let her know. You got that down.
All right. Well, it's 6:27. I'm glad Minister Makalisi's tuning in all the way from Virginia. We have Terrence. Terrence, you're in Washington State, right?
Yep.
In Washington State. Celeste is in Celeste. Now you left Indiana and went to North Carolina. Is that where you went?
Correct. I'm in North Carolina.
All right. So you know, and Sandra and Tim are in Pinole. We're in Sacramento, Elk Grove. Minister Alicia's in Sacramento, and you know, Kalahari, where are you?
He's muted.
He's in San Francisco.
Okay, San Francisco.
Oh.
All right, thanks. So it looks like we're going to close out here with this extraordinary piece. Tim, take that away.
This piece captures history for me. This is a piece entitled The Color Waiting Room by Anthony Armstrong. And when I asked Anthony to explain this picture to me, he talked about as a kid having to wait in the train station, how his mother would make them, when they were traveling to visit family, his mother would make them dress up to catch the train. And he talked about being in the train station in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And so when he said Hattiesburg, Mississippi, I stopped him in his tracks and I said, my family is from Hattiesburg. I've been to the train station before. So we had this conversation about this image. And so I started asking him about, you know, hey, I want to get this image. And then he explained to me that the original of this painting was actually in the office of Johnny Cochran. So Johnny Cochran purchased this original painting, and what he explained to me is he said Johnny had this picture in his negotiation room, and anytime a European showed up for any type of financial settlement, he put them in the room and made them wait like an hour just looking at this picture.
Yay!
You know, there's going to be some type of reciprocity today. But I want you to, first of all, before that happens, I want you to look at this painting and just think about what you're about to pay in terms, you know. But this was just a beautiful piece that always just stood out in my mind by Anthony Armstrong. And he actually just passed away last year, but prior to him passing away, this is not the original painting, but I was able to get my hands on a couple of the reproductions of this image. But this was just an awesome piece that I always just kind of marveled in terms of its beauty, the storytelling behind it, and again having that nostalgia of both being from the same town of Hattiesburg, Mississippi, very small town. So I mean, it's kind of rare that someone would mention that, but when he did, it just automatically even drew me more in tune to this image.
Oh, wow. What a way to conclude this wonderful art presentation. This was recorded, and as soon as it's ready, we're going to send it out, and we'll send that to Sandra and Tim, and certainly to Terrence and all of you. I want to thank you all for joining us today. And, you know, we're not celebrating the takeover of the Native Americans' land, but we are giving thanks. We give thanks for waking up this morning. You know, when we wake up in the morning, I like what Terrence said. He says, I get up early and I get close to the Lord, you know, and if we just give thanks just for being able to inhale the breath of life, we've done a lot. I want to give thanks for all of you, my friends. Malik, you haven't said much today, but I'm glad that you're there. And Tyrone.
Good to see you, Malik.
Yeah, Debbie, I know you like art. I'm glad you could be here, and maybe you'll join them on Friday and/or Saturday. So I'm gonna sign off. Thank you, Mama and Gina. Beautiful comments and everyone, and thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next week. I think my cousin Mo is going to be on next week. So she's very funny. She's written several books, and so we're going to talk to her next week. All right. And this has been another edition of Black Knowledge Matters. Take care.